and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavour show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we've got something a bit different, a really rich, dense set of sources.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Our mission here isn't digging through spreadsheets or polls. We're actually treating these bits of dramatic dialogue, from a fictional world, mind you, as if they're real social encounters we observe.
Like field notes.
Exactly. We're doing a deep dive into the sociology of just how people talk to each other.
That's right. We've got these snapshots, people in a pub, a family in their living room, and we're trying to pull out what they tell us about, well, big themes, really.
Like the passage of time, which always seems to sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm. And modern family life, which is, let's face it, often pretty messy.
And also how old friendships can just flare up again unexpectedly.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing how much you can glean from these short conversations. Things about memory, who we think we are, generational clashes.
It really is. You focus on how they talk, what they choose to bring up, what they kind of gloss over, and, you know, what tiny shared memory suddenly becomes the most important thing.
Right. So our mission is to sort of unpack all that for you.
Okay, let's get into it. The whole thing really kicks off at the pub, doesn't it?
It does. A critical moment.
We meet Carly. She's visiting Ambridge, orders a lime and soda.
Right, because she's driving.
And that tiny detail, the lime and soda, it instantly sets up this contrast, doesn't it? Between the responsible adult she is now.
Mm-hmm. Needs to plan things. Logistics.
And the memories that are about to ambush her.
Yeah, it's a great starting point analytically. Then Chris Carter walks in. And her reaction, Chris Carter? It's not just hello.
No, it's an explosion.
It's pure history hitting them both.
Mm-hmm.
A proper midlife collision with who they used to be.
And straight away, the nostalgia zeroes in on that classic youthful theme, booze and embarrassment.
Always a winner.
Yeah.
They instantly remember getting incredibly drunk on Bonfire Night on the Green.
But it's the specifics that make it feel like real data, you know? They don't just vaguely reminisce.
Yeah, they land on these two very concrete, very memorable moments.
First up, Chris puking in the phone box.
A secret he thought was safe. You hear his defensiveness in the source. Shush, I never told anyone that was me.
And Carly's just like, outed at last.
Yeah.
Bam!
It's that shared kind of low-stakes embarrassing moment. It creates an instant bond, doesn't it?
Totally. And it wasn't just the public stuff. There was that other memory, maybe more private. Taking a bottle of cider up to a farmer's field.
Yeah, sitting there sharing deep teenage thoughts and saving the world.
Oh, the ambition. That classic mix of, like, deep philosophy and just slightly naughty behavior.
But then, that profound world-saving moment gets totally derailed by the cows.
The cows! I love this bit.
Chris remembers them just coming over and standing there. In a silent circle. Just staring.
How weird is that?
It's the absurdity, right? A reality just crashing into their teenage angst. That's the bit they're laughing about 20 years later.
And Carly remembers him being very gallant, trying to shoo away these silent, staring cows.
Followed by the farmer turning up and shouting at them. It's like a perfect little capsule of memory.
But then, sort of inevitably, the momentum of remembering crashes straight into the shock of, well, getting older. Carly admits she used to think Chris was the cutest boy she'd ever seen. She was totally smitten.
Awkward.
And then they both have that moment, that kind of dizzying realization, oh my god, we're suddenly in our mid-30s.
Yeah, that feeling of time just accelerating away from you. Chris tries to argue it, you know, mid-30s is still young, intellectually.
But Carly brings up Oliver Sterling. He's 80, and apparently still feels inspired.
That's a crucial contrast, I think. It pits their feeling of, God, mid-30s against the idea that maybe age is just a state of mind.
So maybe their feeling of being old is more about their circumstances right now than the actual number.
Could be. Suggests vitality isn't purely biological.
That's interesting, because the practicalities, the logistics of their lives now, they seem pretty heavy.
Oh, definitely. They're both divorced parents. That grounds the nostalgia immediately, doesn't it? Puts it in the context of complex adult lives.
Yeah. Carly's got 2 kids, Lauren, who's 10, and River, 12. She mentions the divorce, though, says their dad's been great. Still, logistics.
Absolutely. Co-parenting, schedules. And Chris has Martha. She's 4.5.
And apparently very particular about the house. Just started school.
Right. So even if they wanted to recreate that spontaneous cider trip, impossible. Their lives are structured differently now. School runs, kid-friendly plans.
Introducing the Archer's mug, where elegance meets everyday comfort. Crafted from premium white ceramic, designed with vibrant peekaboo colors inside, simple, modern, and stylish. Start your day the Archer's way, with warmth, familiarity, and the comfort of voices you've come to love. As the stories unfold on the Archers, let this mug become part of your daily ritual, a small reminder of life in Ambridge. Practical for every home, dishwasher and microwave safe. Available in 2 sizes, 11 ounces and 15 ounces, designed to fit your lifestyle. Enjoy your favorite drink in a mug that connects you to Britain's most beloved countryside story, The Archers. For more information, and to order your very own The Archers mug, follow the link below and make it part of your daily routine.
Not saving the world in a field.
Okay, but speaking of complicated family stuff, let's shift focus, because at the same time, there's this whole other drama unfolding.
Back at the house.
Yeah, between Tom, his son, Henry, and Helen. And this isn't about nostalgia, it's about a different kind of friction, generational friction.
Definitely. Specifically around culture and technology.
It's perfectly summed up by the Bill and Ted incident, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Tom's clearly trying his best here. He wants to bond with his son, share something he loved.
A classic parental move. And he's found the DVD Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He even notes it's a good copy.
You can feel his pride. He put effort in.
But Henry just shuts it down instantly. Not because of the film itself, but the format.
Yeah, his reaction is pure tech snobbery. Who watches DVDs? Pretty historic. Ouch.
It really highlights that cultural gap, doesn't it? How fast technology makes things obsolete. For Tom, a DVD is solid, reliable. For Henry, it's practically an ancient artifact.
And when Tom reveals the film's from 1989...
When Henry delivers the killer line, there was nothing else to do back then, was there?
Devastating. It completely dismisses any idea of being a classic. Just old.
It's like historical pity instead of cultural appreciation. But the source shows Henry's anger isn't really about the DVD, is it?
No, not entirely. That's just the flashpoint. His main beef is missing this trip to Scotland.
Right. His dad, Rory, booked it during term time, so Henry's stuck with Granny and Granddad instead of seeing castles and salmon fishing.
Exactly. So the ancient film becomes a handy target for all that frustration about adult scheduling messing up his life. He's generally fed up with Tom.
Complains about his films from last century, calls him boring at games because Tom always wins.
And apparently Tom's a terrible loser, too. It's interesting how kids just weaponize brutal honesty when they feel powerless.
Yeah. And this is where Helen's role becomes so important, analytically speaking. She's the mediator.
The emotional shock absorber for the whole family.
Totally. Tom's waiting for her at the pub for their date, presumably a rare bit of adult time, but she instantly offers to cancel it, to stay home with Henry and Jack because Henry's upset.
Her line is, "You're more important." That says it all, really. It's that constant parental balancing act.
Right, and it highlights how often in these dynamics it falls to the mother figure to manage the emotional temperature, often sacrificing her own plans.
Yeah, that calculation whose needs come first right now, that's a key social dynamic we're seeing.
Okay, let's swing back to the pub then, because it's not just Carly and Chris having their reunion. The pub itself is acting like a social hub.
Oh, definitely. With Jillian, the publican, providing running commentary.
She clocks the situation immediately, confirms Chris is single, and basically tells Carly to go for it.
Calls him a whopper, which I guess means a good catch.
I think so. But hang on, is he really a whopper in the traditional sense? Or is he just, you know, available and not currently throwing up in phone boxes?
Good point. Maybe the definition of good catch shifts by your mid-30s? Available, stable, perhaps a bit quiet.
Maybe whopper just means employed and not living with his mom.
Could be. Shows the pragmatism setting in, perhaps.
And while all this is going on, Tom turns up, presumably having given up on Bill and Ted.
Yeah, and he tells Jillian this joke about a sandwich walking into a bar.
which she completely doesn't get. It's just this moment of awkward static, people totally miscommunicating because they're in different headspaces.
A little social misfire. But let's get back to Carly and Chris, because there are a couple of really significant bits of information dropped here.
Right, things that actually change the context of their whole reunion.
First, Chris mentions his ex-wife, Martha's mom. It's Alice.
The Alice. The one who hosted the party where Carly and Chris had that chocolate fountain fight.
With Alice's posh friend, India. Yeah. That's Aunt Alice.
Wow. So they weren't just two random old friends bumping into each other. They were always connected through this other person, this shared social circle, probably with its own tensions.
Exactly. It adds this whole other layer retrospectively. Yeah. It shows how tangled these local social webs really are. The past isn't just memory. It shapes the present connections.
Makes the world feel smaller, doesn't it?
It really does. And then there's another connection back to their past, but this one's much sadder.
Yeah, the farmer. The one whose field they were in with the cider and the cows.
The one who shouted at them. He's recently died.
Just dropped dead in his milking shed.
It's quite stark. It's that harsh reminder of real change, of mortality. The actual landscape of their youth, the setting for their teenage secrets, is literally changing. People are disappearing from it.
The world they were going to save is moving on without them.
In a way, yeah. And finally, we get the logistics for Bonfire Night for Wednesday.
Right, the options. There's the big public display on the green, fireworks, the pub running the beer tent.
The traditional community event.
Or there's the more exclusive option, Oliver Sterling's fireworks party at Grey Gables.
Reflecting different social strata, perhaps. But Chris isn't going to either.
No. He confirms he's having a quiet night in the back garden with Martha.
His 4.5-year-old daughter.
With a specialty and a few sparklers.
And that choice just sums up the whole journey, doesn't it? From getting legless on the green to a quiet, controlled, domestic evening with sparklers.
It's the shift from chaotic public youth to constrained modern parenthood in a nutshell.
Yeah. So if we try and pull these threads together, what are we really seeing?
Well, it feels like change is happening on two levels, right?
Yeah.
There's the personal level, dealing with aging, divorce, parenting logistics, seeing old friends differently.
The practical constraints of adult life impacting that feeling of vitality.
And then there's the cultural level, shown by Tom and Henry, where technology is accelerating so fast that cultural touchstones from just, 30 years ago seem completely ancient and irrelevant to the next generation.
That's a great summary. And across both scenarios, the constant seems to be the need for connection, but also the work involved in maintaining it.
Yeah, it doesn't just happen. It needs mediation, like Helen stepping in with Henry.
Yeah.
Or maybe a nudge from someone like Jillian at the pub.
Or digging deep into shared, slightly embarrassing memories. That seems to be a powerful glue.
Definitely. The sources seem to suggest that what holds things together isn't always grand gestures, but maybe that shared history, even the silly bits and the ongoing, sometimes difficult commitment to family and friends.
Yeah, I think that's a really solid takeaway. Nostalgia, reality bites, and the search for connection, it's all in there.
Okay, so that's the core analysis. We've seen how powerful shared memory can be, bridging decades in an instant. And we've seen how challenging it is for new generations to connect with the classics their parents loved. So here's a final thought for you to maybe chew on. We heard how life seems to speed up, how your early 30s can feel like just 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that resonated.
Given that feeling, and how fast everything changes, technology, society, people themselves, what memory are you creating right now? Today. It could be something small, like a quiet night with sparklers, or something totally absurd, like, I don't know, an encounter with some staring cows.
Yeah.
What memory are you making today that when you look back in 20 years will feel just as immediate, just as surprising, and just as defining as these moments clearly were for Carly and Chris?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Thanks for diving deep
what
with
are you
us.
doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just moving mics around.
So what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the arches. Any
Are you what we call Foley then?
Kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's
This one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now.
No.
I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline. I mean,
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever